going to switch gears into the NFL and talk about arguably one of the best cornerbacks in the game right now. My man Richard Sherman, the Seattle Seahawks, who recently actually was elected to the NFL Player Association's executive committee, and he previously served as the Seahawks union rep. But he recently had some, quite controversial comments about Roger Goodell. You could say, when asked about, the Roger Goodell's rule proposal to eject players after they commit 2 personal fouls in the game, this is what Richard Sherman had to say about it. He said, "I think it's foolish, but it sounds like something somebody who's never played the game would say, something that they would suggest because he doesn't understand. He's just a face. He's just a suit. He's never stepped foot on the field and understood how you can get a personal foul." And then when asked about the catching rules later on, he said, because you got a bunch of suits doing it, when he was asked about the catching rule. Like I said before, you don't have a bunch of guys. Let Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin talk about it for about 20 to 30 minutes. Maybe Chris Carter, Randy Moss, let those guys have a roundtable discussion about what a catch should be and come up for rule. I guarantee you it'd be more effective than the rule they have now, because those are the pass catchers. Those are some of the best pass catchers we've had. I think it'd be more straightforward and to the point. You've got a bunch of guys who have never played. They probably never touched a football except to hold it out or to shake somebody's hand or to take a picture, but they've never played the game.
That's a big test.
So what do you all think about his comments about, Roger Goodell and just the rules that we have in place right now, the proposed rules? Carlos, let's start with you. What do you think?
Well, one thing that Richard Sherman, that's a big testament to say that they have never touched the football, or they've never been on the field. Well, I'd say even if they haven't touched the football, what do you think?
My man Kupchak even said, even great free throw shooters usually go 9 of 10 from the line, bound to mess up something in your shot at some point. When you only shoot 4 shots, it's easier to hit them all.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And just like somebody, and then the Jersey guy said, just like in baseball, you can have less bats and have a higher batting average.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, y'all. Continue, Khalid.
You can. The word is can.
Continue.
Anyways, Richard Sherman, it's a big testament to say that these people have never touched the football, never been on the football field. You would think that the National Football League commissioner would know a little thing or two about football. So that's a huge testament to say that just guys in suits and they never touch the football unless they hand them out or they shaking hands or whatever. I mean, they're doing it for player safety. They don't want a personal foul is one that's a foul that's like it shouldn't, it's like it's definitely in harm for the other player. So you can't to constantly have those personal fouls is questionable. It's questionable for with your intentions in the game. You're not trying to hurt the other players. You're just trying to play the game and hope that get your team to score. The ways that you do it, it can't be intentionally trying to hurt a player. So I understand the 2 personal fouls thing. I mean, it would help if they had that round table with Jerry Rice and so forth, of the best wide receivers, because they do have experience with catching and stuff like that, and they know what catches are, and they have that clear understanding of that for the catching for the thing that they consider catches. So I do think that Richard Sherman had a couple of points that were definitely good points, but for him to say that they just people in suits that's a big argument.
All right, Rashad, what do you think?
My man Richard Sherman's a savage for what he said, because those are fighting words. He's not gonna tell me I ain't played the game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because Roger Goodell did play. So to sit here and say you never played football in your life, man, you don't know what you're talking about. That's fighting words. But I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but I don't agree with the 2 personal fouls. I mean, it's not often you have 2 personal fouls for the same player in the game anyway. But I just feel like emotions came out, which made Richard Sherman say what he wanted to say, because he's tired. Like everybody in the league is tired of all these rule changes. They're tired of everything happening to the league. They just want to play football. They're tired of everything. You're making it more difficult for the players to just enjoy the game. Like now they have to do so much to be so cautious to play the game. And I'm sure Richard Sherman thinks he got to be so much more cautious that it's going to risk my health now being a defensive player, because I'm thinking about what I have to do and all this stuff like that, because all these rule changes you're making, and at the same time, I'm just getting ran over by the running back because I got to make sure I can't hit him in a certain way or something like that. And I can't, you saying you're taking away the showboating part, you trash talking people, you can't even trash talk no more. That's getting crazy. to the point that's what makes the game interesting, like competition. Now you want everybody to be all friendly on the field, and is that now about his random type of discussion? You forgot one important name to put on that list, and that's the great Des Bryant in there, because he had that catch and that would have took us to the NFC Championship, eventually took us to Super Bowl to win another Super Bowl, because that's what would have happened. So you need to have him at the great round table, but not. But my point is, I just have to include his name, because I know Sierra Brennan here thinking about something like you're talking nonsense. But nah, I don't think that. And overall, you should have like players make the rules, because then you might see stuff like, well, I mean, technically I still caught even though it hit the ground or something like that. Ground didn't help me. I just have great hands. Yes, you have stuff like that happening, and then you will have controversial plays that happen in the game where you'll be like, well, that shouldn't have been a catch, but since these receivers made these rules, they're rules now.
So the people that specialize in the technical side.
I mean, like the people who make the rules. I mean, they do their jobs, and I mean, obviously we've seen them done efficiently until they start making all these rule changes now. But for Richard Sherman to say like, yeah, these dudes just suit and ties, that's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah,
I can agree that it is kind of. It can be disrespectful to him. I mean, that is your commissioner. At the end of the day, that's commissioner
That's
of
your boss.
Yeah, that's your boss.
of the entire NFL.
Of the entire NFL.
You know
what
a thing or two about football.
To just say he's just a suit is kind of crazy. But I do think he has a point when he says that these guys making the rules, some of them really haven't played. And it's not like Roger Goodell makes up all these rules. There are some people that in these rules conferences that make these rules haven't played. So to tell a guy you're going to get ejected. So say somebody gets a helmet to helmet hit, a flag on one play. And I don't know what they're determined by personal fouls, but if you're telling me that personal fouls is equivalent to 2 penalties, if you get a
personal fouls are like your helmet to helmet contact.
Mm-hmm.
And then that goes into like if you say a cuss
word,
like
what you call it,
stuff like that.
But see,
unnecessary roughness.
Unnecessary roughness is a personal foul.
And the hit after play.
Yeah.
Late hit,
Okay, so say you get an unnecessary roughness, or you get a helmet to helmet hit or unnecessary roughness, right? And then you hit a guy you don't even intend it. You're a hard hitting team like the Seahawks. You're a Cam Chancellor. You hit guy. You're known for hitting guys hard, and you get a helmet to helmet contact hit. And so you were more likely to get ejected than a guy that doesn't hit as hard as somebody. You know what I mean? And then especially if you're an expressive player, you might get a flag for taunting or whatever when you don't even feel as though you were taunting. So some people would view Cam Newton's dance as a taunting as taunting, so that could possibly draw a flag. But when you start making it so these guys get ejected for this, you're just like, so you're taking out all the inequities of the game. I mean, you're adding even higher stakes for these guys to have to worry about. Like you have to worry about getting ejected now. Like my helmet to helmet contact, yes, I was gonna get a 15-yard penalty or whatever, but now I got to worry about getting kicked out of the game now, even though I try to slow myself down. Now, see those kind of things that I can see Richard Sherman's standpoint, but I also see the NFL's view on it, because sometimes guys might be like, hey, because I want to get ejected, I know I can do this and we can afford the 15 yards. Mm-hmm. Like when you hear a statement like Akeem Talib made about what he did in the Super Bowl when he got those intentional penalties on himself early in the game. That's a personal foul. So you look at those things. Would he make those same plays if you possibly could get ejected for those same personal fouls?
Didn't Ndamukong Suh do the same thing?
Ndamukong Suh gets personal fouls all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ndamukong Suh is a walking poster boy of personal fouls.
Oh yeah, he's about to get ejected plenty of games with this goal.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I understand with that. Now with the catching, I think you should have some players. Well, I think on both fronts, you should have some players that have played to make some of these rules, because I mean you can talk about, you can watch it. I mean I don't believe the fact that when all the players say that you always need to play to fully understand how the game works and everything. Mm-hmm. But to a degree, they understand the game in a way that people that haven't played don't understand it. You know what I mean? So there should be some players on these rules committees or on these boards that discuss these rules. There should be way more. I don't think it should be all players, but there should be a way more majority of players that are able to put in their bids for rules, like what he was saying about the catches. Some of these catches, I saw some catches last season that I was just like, I don't even know what qualifies anymore. You don't even know what qualifies as a catch anymore. So they need to come up with something that's a distinct qualified rule. And I'm not even going to address Rashad putting Des Bryant in that class of Chris Carter. Randy
That's not
Moss,
that class of great receivers. It's the class of who got robbed from a catch. Like him and Megatron should be.
You said who should be included on this roundtable.
Yeah, Des Bryant.
No, but he listed receivers that really have had Hall of Fame careers, their careers are already done.
Terrell Owens
and
needs to be on that list.
and you can make that case too.
Brian,
Even though he did drop a lot of catches himself, but
so discredit greatness because he dropped passes.
I didn't say he wasn't great. I just said, did I say he wasn't great?
I mean, everybody drops passes.
Everybody does drop passes.
I
but
get defensive over my great receivers who play for Cowboys.
I noticed he did, but I never said he wasn't great, did I? I was on the same show a few weeks ago saying Terrell Owens should have been in the Hall of Fame, didn't I?
No,
exactly.
I'm not supporting you here.
You don't got it for me. It's just facts.
Ain't buddies out here.
That's fine. It's facts.
Ain't no
you don't gotta be buddies for my facts to be straight, right?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I'm saying.
They ain't facts, they're just opinions.
You say yeah, they do.
They ain't facts no more. They opinions.
So if we go back and watch the footage from weeks ago when we talked about Terrell Owens on the show, it's gonna be an opinion that I said.
Buddies, they opinions.
You know what, guys? We're gonna wrap it up for today's show. It's been KBR Sports, the best sports talk show of your 24-hour day, coming to you on WOD Studios, the best in college radio. Follow us on our KBR Sports Twitter page at KBR_sports, where you can see our updates for each show and the topics we tweet before each show. And also subscribe to our KBR Sports YouTube channel at KBR Sports, and also listen to us on Rabble, YouTube, and Spreaker, and on iTunes. Make sure you guys listen to us on all that, and make sure y'all comment and tweet us your opinions on our shows, and also you give us topics for our upcoming shows. All right, y'all have a great day.